All right, welcome back to CryptoTrends, and this is podcast number 2. We'll be discussing Bitcoin Cash in this podcast, so stay tuned. So Bitcoin Cash just made a move. It went from it was trading at like $1,000 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then it moved all the way up to like $1,600 recently for the second time. The first time it went to 22 and then retraced down back to like a little over 1,000. Now it's back up to 1,600.
Yeah, so some roughly around like 320, 350 price range.
Yeah. Is that where you dumped them all?
Yeah. Well, then I found out that I had some more in my Tracer. So I figured, after the correction, I was hoping it'd go back down below 1,000. And I'd probably acquire some more, buy back into it.
Did it ever go back down?
But the lowest I think it went was 11 or like 12 or 1,100.
Yeah, and it just bounced off that.
And then I was kind of being a little more patient, but then it didn't really hit that mark, so it just kind of, went back up again. The mini spikes started coming out, and it's right at about 1,700 right now.
So here's something interesting. We have Bitcoin. Like we know about Bitcoin, right? Obviously, SHA-256 for proof of work algorithm. ASIC is the mining hardware. So the big highlight here between Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, and SegWit 2x, right? And I don't even know if SegWit 2x ever came to be. I think it was just canceled the last I heard. Did it ever get released officially? SegWit 2x?
No, I don't think it did.
Remember it got canceled?
Yeah, it got canceled. Then I don't know if it was ever released.
So between Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, between all of them, the only coin that maintains the non-SegWit version is Bitcoin Cash, which is what was Satoshi's original plan. Because when you start implementing SegWit on a coin, it doesn't fully validate the transaction. It takes a shortcut and only validates off of only like a few nodes. Thus, it's a faster transaction and less fees because it's basically like a half-assed transaction with SegWit. For the cost of having less fees and faster transaction times comes at an expense of less secure transactions. Well, Bitcoin Cash is able to achieve this without SegWit by increasing the block size as necessary, which was part of Satoshi's original mission. Just increase the block sizes as necessary.
Any chance you see Bitcoin Gold kind of replicating the success Bitcoin Cash?
Bitcoin Gold?
Because honestly, it's kind of starting off, coming out of the gate, roughly $200, $300, and Bitcoin Gold right now is roughly $350. Do you see the same trend?
Okay, so honestly, no. And so I'm gonna say what I think is the story. I may mess it up a little bit. From my understanding with Bitcoin Gold, right? Bitcoin Gold was forked by this guy. I don't know his name, but he wanted to initiate this fork because he makes these GPUs, and they're kind of unique GPUs. I guess they're pretty powerful, and he has his own rig set up with all these GPUs, and he wanted to take advantage of the Bitcoin market. He thought it was like unfair how all these Chinese ant miners get to take advantage of the Bitcoin, so he wanted his share. In order to do that, he created Bitcoin Gold, so he could benefit from selling his GPUs to the marketplace so that other people can mine it, and he would get an advantage for already having owned a large share of these GPUs. That's my understanding, and I don't think that's I don't really care for that too much. It's kind of like a self-interest, in my opinion. Like it benefits him, so he's kind of taking advantage of that. That's kind of how I feel about Dash too. Like it was like a self-interest the way it started with the Instamine. It benefits one party mostly more so than the rest of the people evenly. I mean, I'm sure some people took advantage of Bitcoin in the beginning, but whatever. It was the first coin.
Well, Dash is digital cash. I mean,
it is. It's digital cash. It's secure. It
has its pros and cons.
It's an excellent coin.
It's still it's still a coin you should hold.
So I don't want to know how much Dash you own, but do you own any Dash?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I don't own any Dash, and it's way too late in the game to get involved in Dash, in my opinion. I think it's already gone way too high. If anything, it's in a bubble. It definitely doesn't have as much value as Litecoin, in my opinion. Litecoin, which was a fork of Bitcoin.
Well, the thing with Dash, I mean, you got to look at the supply circulating, and also the max supply of Dash, right? It has roughly a little over 7 million coins compared to Litecoin. But there's more scarcity, so it's going to bring more value.
I guess.
To the table.
I guess. I mean,
their supplies are much more limited, and it's still being used widely.
I don't know if supply is really too relevant. If you can.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, it is.
If you can.
You definitely have to factor supply.
Yeah. No, because if the coin can be valued, if 0.00001, you can go eight spaces to the right of the decimal, then having one solid, like for Bitcoin, having one Bitcoin is not necessarily relevant. You could have 0.0000001 Bitcoin. Actually, that is relevant because you would never be able to transact that in Bitcoin. When you're talking about Bitcoin, though, if it was IOTA, you'd be able to transact it. You know why I say that?
Yeah.
Because Bitcoin, you have a transaction fee, and if you try to transact 0.001 Bitcoin, you may never be able to send that Bitcoin. It'll get stuck in.
So the flippening is probably happening.
I mean, so
what do you think that's going to happen? The flippening.
So when you say the flippening, though, that terminology, the flippening, it pertains to Ethereum and Bitcoin. One of the things being touted or tossed around, whatever you want to call it, is that can Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin coexist? Andreas Antonopoulos will say yes, they can coexist. They're designed to both exist. Well, I beg to differ because I'll just go by Grisham's law, right? The bad money will be washed out and replaced by the new money, the more useful money. And in this case, Bitcoin Cash is more useful at the moment, clearly. So that's what I go by, Grisham's law, for like everything. Like crypto will replace fiat, Grisham's law. So I don't think they can coexist, and I think one will prevail. One will prevail, and Bitcoin Cash becomes the leader. It's in third place right now. It doesn't have too far to go to bump up there.
I mean, he's already surpassed Bitcoin's 24-hour market cap.
What's in second place? Ethereum.
I mean, he's already surpassed it before, like when it had that bull rush.
Yeah.
It already surpassed Bitcoin. I mean, which is pretty astonishing feat, During the bull run for Bitcoin Cash, it surpassed
Ethereum.
The mark. No, it eclipsed the number 2 mark.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. And
they actually had a higher market cap the past 24 hours.
It's crazy.
During that bull rush over Bitcoin.
It's crazy.
So more, money was being transacted. So what do you think is a good time to buy back in Bitcoin Cash? What's a good price range? I mean, considering it's about 16. 16.
I don't think it will fall below 1,000, to be honest.
So you're saying back up the truck, and load up if it hits near 1,000 again. Is it time to load up?
Well, 1,200, maybe 13 even. I'm not so sure it'll go below 1,000. I don't think it will.
I mean, it flirted with 1,100 just not too long ago. Just a few days ago, it was about 1,100.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So I definitely think it can dip below that.
Well, there's also we've seen some things in the market before, like we've seen a bloody market where where everything goes down.
Everything just goes down
The
like
whole
20, 30.
yeah, the whole market
40%.
cap drops. The whole overall market cap. We've seen that before. So if that happens, then yeah, it could be possible. But at that point, what
But
would
then when you're trading,
Yeah.
I mean, they're both at losses.
it depends what you're trading. If you're trading fiat, it's a different story. But if you're trading Bitcoin, you might not. The exchange ratio might not be.
It'll still even out
Yeah.
in the end. So I guess an altcoin that you have that doesn't have a big dip, like you could probably exchange that for
Yeah,
like a lower
Yeah.
like Bitcoin Cash if it's going down a lot further.
you could.
I mean, that's one way to look at it, right?
Yeah. I've been trying to get a hold of Roger Ver. Try to do an interview with him.
You got a network, man. You can't do everything by yourself.
I think Roger Ver's a billionaire now, multi-billionaire.
He's probably like really close, if not already.
Multi-billionaire.
He has like thousands. Where do you store
Bitcoin Cash.
Bitcoin Cash? Like I know Trezor is available.
Ledger.
Your Nano Ledger.
Just Ledger. Well, right now it's kind of weird on the Ledger. Whenever you start up the Ledger, right? You go into your Ledger on the wallet, whatever, and you open it up. It gives you an option to open up on the extension. So the extension will say, do you want to open up Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin? And if you open up Bitcoin, either one, it gives you an option to pick main or split, which is weird. I don't know what that means, main or split. And if you pick Bitcoin, you can also pick SegWit version of Bitcoin or regular Bitcoin.
Oh, really?
Do you use Bitcoin SegWit or Bitcoin regular?
Regular.
See, me too.
To Bitcoin's almost 8,500 now.